I want kids but think my husband lied to me about wanting them. I, 35F, have wanted kids since I could remember and have always talked about wanting kids. As I got older and I started to date seriously, I knew it would be important to let the guy know that it was something I wanted. Previously I had broken up with guys because they had not wanted any, and that was fine because we were honest with each other. Fast forward to when I had started hanging out with my husband, 36, back then as friends. When he showed interest, I told him straight up, "Don't date me if you don't want kids." He had told me he did want them, maybe 1 or 2. We dated a few years and got engaged. I had mentioned kids again and he said he didn't want them right away, and I actually agreed with him and said that I wanted our time first to be married and get settled, but didn't want to wait until we were too old. We were 30 and 31 at that time. We had moved a couple times and moved away from family because he wanted to start a new career, and I left my job to go with him and start a new job in a new city. Whenever I ask about trying for a kid now, he just says excuses. They used to be, didn't want to raise them here, I want to have a stable job, and we are never going to have fun again. We have been married coming up on 5 years now, together 8.5, and known each other over 10 years, and it's still the same stuff. I love him very much, but I have started to think he lied to me from the beginning. I am not willing to give up wanting kids, and I don't want to push him to have kids if that's not what he wants. But I don't understand why he didn't say that a long time ago. That's taking away one of my dreams that I have wanted forever. I just don't know what to do. So many of my friends have said to leave, it's just not that easy. If you comment, no need to be rude. I just want opinions. He may have wanted them back then, and has since changed his mind. He might not necessarily be lying in that regard. However, this does fundamentally change things for you. There's no way to compromise in this. You either do or don't have kids, and it would be wrong to try to force him if he doesn't want to. So it's deep, serious discussion time. You need to 100% know where he stands on this issue right now, because you will have decisions to make. And if he's against kids now and you're dead set on having them, then you need to leave and start looking for someone actually compatible with you before you run out of time. Have the discussion and don't accept deflection type responses. If it's still he wants to but not yet, then you need to know exactly why not yet, and exactly when he will be ready. Don't let him string you along to run out the clock. I read so many of these posts and just think, when will these women put themselves first? If you want kids, decide when you want them, communicate that, and then stick to it. I want to start trying when I'm 28. There. End of story. Either they can get on board, or they can let you go find someone who is on board. Ladies, you need to know what you want and then chase it. Think it's a combination of hope, boiling a frog, and sunk cost fallacy. That means you keep thinking just one more year. I was in the same situation with my ex-partner of 11 years. We had one daughter together and he always said he wanted more kids. Like your husband, it was excuse after excuse. Then I turned 35. It was a turning point for me as I realized time wasn't on my side, so as hard as it was, I left. He didn't want marriage either, so I didn't just leave for the no more children issue. Fast forward 6 months and I met someone new who wanted the same things as me, and I thought I was finally happy and found the one. A year and a half into our relationship, I was diagnosed with terminal cancer and can no longer have children. I'm not really sure what the moral of my story is, but I guess don't waste your life on someone who doesn't want the same things as you. You never know what is going to happen. Thank you for sharing that, and sorry to hear that. I know someone who was your age leave a 10-year relationship for this very reason. She met someone else a couple of years later. She got pregnant after about a year and they have a 2-year-old now. Your husband knows how important this is to you. If he's not willing to talk about it, it's a deal breaker and he knows that. Don't delay. Move on if he's not on the same page. If you force him, he will be resentful and the kid will suffer. He's just trying to run out the clock. He knows all he has to do is stall a few more years and you're stuck. I'd tell him to either knock you up now or walk. He's just trying to run out the clock. He's 35, if he doesn't know what he wants then he never will. He needs to shit or get off the pot. Cheating fiance tried cut her ring finger off. I for once don't know what to do. I am a freaking mess now. Have no idea what to do or whom to listen to. Title sums it all up. To sum it all up, we've been engaged for over a year now. We were supposed to get married on our anniversary, but along came the bug and we had to postpone our wedding. She's been acting real shady during the middle of quarantine days, like hiding her phone super fast reflexes to the message. This wasn't normal when I asked. She just brushed it off and blamed it on quarantine. Then come January, she's back to herself but overly clingy, too much care. I get some sparks, start snooping, nothing on phone or her laptop. I felt bad, but then I saw a spare Android phone tucked inside one of her shoes, booted it up. There it was, an EA starting from September of 2020. But she ended it in January after it turned physical. They fucked 3 times in a week. Her ending line was, and I quote, "AP, I love you but I love my fiancé more. I realized the time we spent was good but it's nothing compared to what I had with my soon-to-be husband. The fuck. I hope you will find someone better. For now, goodbye AP." Well, I can't say I am Master Uruguay in any sense. Confronted her immediately. She let out the whole cheater moves out. Lucky for me, I was prepared thanks to all the Redditors. I asked for the ring back, she wouldn't give it back and I took it forcefully and I left. She texts and calls me every single day. Then on, I got fed up and I responded. She said she missed me and her ring finger doesn't feel complete without the ring and she can't sleep without seeing me. I was more than pissed. I started lashing out at her, called her some awful things. Then I finally said the only way I was going to take her back was if she cut off her ring finger, and I hung up. 2 days after that, her mom calls me and tells that she is in hospital and she tried to cut her finger off. I started to panic. I went to check on her. She started crying and I asked her what she was thinking and she said if this was what I wanted she would do it for me. I was silent and I left. So here I am typing this and I don't know what to do. She has exhibited tendency of self-harm before. I feel like I am abandoning her at her time of need. Any advice would be helpful. Edit. I kinda saw a post about a guy whose wife cut her finger off completely. If anybody could find that post so that I can talk to that guy, that could be very helpful. Edit 2. Hey, this is not any kind of update, you have to wait a while for that one. I have seen some common misunderstanding here, thought I'd just clear that. Hashtag BPD hash she doesn't have BPD, she checked that of way before she only had PTSD, so that cannot be used as an excuse. Hashtag ring hash someone asked me why that ring is so precious. Because it was given to me by my late grandma. Out of her 8 grandchildren she chose to give it to me. And say whatever the fuck you want, I ain't giving the ring that belonged to a boat a day I fucked up or sold to a cheating SLT. Hashtag taking IT back forcefully hash here I might have messed up. When I said forcefully it didn't mean violently. English is not my first language. Forced in the sense was I gave her no other choice. I said I would go to court if I have to get it back. And finally she gave in after a long argument and begging and me sticking to my guns. I did use some words and tactics I'm not proud of. I took it off her hand gently as she was still standing and crying. Again, I'm sorry for not making it clear. I am not a violent person. I was never raised to harm anyone. I am not that guy. Hashtag domestic violence hash I don't know, you'll need to check on what it means. I never harmed her. I haven't ever raised my hand against her. Hashtag cut her finger hash I know I'm not supposed to say that. But come on, I am only human. I gave her a ring I was only supposed to give to the person who was gonna be my rock. And yes, she used to self-harm sadly, but we were past that. I didn't think she wouldn't act on it. When she cheated I knew I wasn't special to remain faithful to. I didn't think I was worth enough for her or anybody in that case to cut a finger off of their hand. And yes, her father ain't in the picture. He cheated on her mom and beft for the ow. So her mom's not pressuring me to take any decision now. She said she would be happy for me on any decision I make. I don't know how she can be indifferent to her daughter, but I guess because she knows how I'm hurting. That's all for now. I will update sooner or later. This girl needs to be institutionalized. Sounds like fully dysregulated BPD. The best thing you can do is keep your distance from her. She is the cheater. The self-harm is a manipulation technique to make you feel like she's the victim so she can escape the consequences of her own actions. The best thing you can do is go no contact, get therapy, and try to rebuild your life. /r/love it owns. This is a gots to go situation. Cut all contact with her and her family and focus 100% of your energy into taking care of yourself. Get some therapy. This is real trauma that can undermine your future relationships. I am in a good mental state, I'm just confused on her life. I have a great friend circle, they are very supportive, they actually helped me ghost her before this shit went down, now even they are confused on what to do. No contact. Block her and her mother on everything. If you think she's a danger to herself, contact the police or adult services. I feel like I am abandoning her at her time of need. What about the time she abandoned you and fucked another guy? Just don't. Move on with your life. This girl is crazy. What may happen in the future? She will hurt one of your kids because she's mad at you. Just nope out of this. You're not her father, neither her doctor. I mean, you shouldn't have said that to her, you should have cut contact entirely as soon as you left, so you need to tell her that you only said that out of anger, that you didn't mean it, and that there is nothing she can do that will get you back. That you hope she gets the help she needs to heal, but that you won't be part of her life in any way going forward. Then cut contact entirely, block her, and keep it that way. My wife is convinced that I will cheat on her because she's pregnant. Throw away because I know multiple people in my family have Reddit accounts. Long story short, my father cheated on my mother with my stepmother. My wife, in our 7-year relationship, 4 dating, 3 married, has never met my father, stepmother, half-siblings, step-uncles, or my step-grandfather. My mother convinced my wife she didn't want any of them at the wedding or have any holidays with them the entirety of our relationship. My wife was cheated on in the past but moved past that, or so I thought. Well, my wife and I recently found out we're having our first child, but my wife is not excited or happy at all because my mother told her that my father cheated on my mother once she got pregnant. Yes, accurate, but it was before either of my parents knew my mother was pregnant with me. My wife is convinced that I'll cheat on her because she's pregnant. Very unlikely, as she's the most amazing woman I've met and no one can hold a candle to her on looks. My mother just says I'm my father's son, which really pissing me off. But because my wife hasn't met my father, she says that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. She does trust me. She says she trusts me, but she cries every time my phone goes off. My stepmother, who I call Mama, says to not vilify my mother and be a supportive husband to my wife as I can be. She even bought me some stuff to pamper my wife with because she deserves to be loved and pampered like the bow. Today I fucked up a woman she is and how pregnancy is tough on women's bodies. I trusted the woman who was pregnant 3 times, once with twins. So, besides the obvious, how can I get my wife to calm down and enjoy her pregnancy, or convince her that I will not cheat on her? I love my wife, she makes me whole, there will never be anyone but her. Edit, to add, my father and stepmother owned up to what they did to me years ago. They always apologize to my mother whenever they see her because she constantly brings to up. I'm almost 30, but my mother will not stop making jabs at my father about my stepmother. I'll see what I can do about that. Edit 2. Okay, message taken. Separate my wife and mother, currently looking for therapists, and going to break out a couple face masks so my wife will be in a good mood when I talk to her. Maybe give her a massage. But I need to talk to her and cut contact with my mom.